Hello friends, welcome to our channel Kids Moral Story. So today we are going to tell you the story of the unending story. Today Ajji and Vishnu Kaka were all feeling sad. The children's holidays were nearly over and it was nearing to the time when they would go back to their homes. For 3 weeks the houses had echoed with their laughter, games and quarrels. Now all would be quiet once again till they returned for their next holiday. The children too were feeling sad and had gathered around their grandparents in the tight little group. Raghu, the eldest, said, "We had more fun this holiday that we have ever had, even more than when we visited Disneyland, and it was all because of the stories," Ajja said. "When I was still working as a school teacher, I always found it was so much easier to get my students' attention when I told the lessons in the form of stories," Anand said. "I find it really boring to read history from a book, but if you tell us the story from history, I am sure we will remember everything." Everyone now turned their bright eyes on Ajji. "How can you tell us only one story even on the last day, Ajji? We want more," they clamored. But Ajji shook her head. "If you eat only pickles and laddus, will you be healthy? Stories are like that. You can't spend all your time listening to stories, then it will be boring. Like the unending story that the king once had to hear."
"I want a story, and that's an order," shouted the king, Pratap Singh of Mayanagar. King Pratap was only 15 years old and still a boy at heart. He didn't.
Still boy at heart means he was childish.
15 like being a king much because he was supposed to be doing serious things like keeping the law, listening to the people's problems and all kinds of daily things like that. The only part he liked that being a ruler was that even he had obeyed to him. How he loved giving orders and making all kinds of demands. At what he loved most was the listening stories. Every day he listened instead on listening to at least 10 stories. All the time the old man was admitted into the king's chamber. There he made himself comfortable, drank a huge jug of water and storytellers in the kingdom lined up at his court. They told him funny stories, scary stories, magical stories and anything else they had came to their mind. King Pratap listened to all with rapt attention. He loved stories and storytellers so much that whenever he heard a good tale, he would shower the teller with gold, silver and all kinds of wonderful presents. His ministers sat it and shook their heads and tried to explain. "Your Majesty, stories are all very well, but you should be listening to them all after your work is done. Your people need to do so many things for them. If you spend all time wrapped up in fantasies, how will
prosper. But King Pratap paid no attention. It was the stories he wanted and stories he would get. But how long could the people provide him with the stories? Soon the tales began to dry out. Some tried to cleverly tell him once they had relating long back, but Pratap was sharp as a needle. I have heard that one. Off with his head for the repeating story. How his ministers had to plead him to pardon with culprits. Finally, disgusted with all the storytellers in his land, the king announced, I want someone to tell me a story that will go on and on. I will ask him or her to stop. Anyone who can do this will get half my kingdom as a prize. His ministers were horrified at this. Half of the kingdom to some woolly headed writer and teller of stories? How horrible! They all tried to show the king the foolishness of his ways, but he was adamant. The story that lasted for days, even 7 weeks, was that he wanted and
Even
that
weeks, not 7.
even weeks. That was that he wanted, and that was that. Soon a long line of men and women appeared at his court. Each one wanted to win the big prize.
But none of their stories were good enough for King Pratap. Boring! He shouted at someone. Rubbish! He yelled at others. Cock and bull! He bellowed at yet others. Meanwhile, work on the kingdom affairs had came to a stop. All the ministers were sitting, wearing their hands and wondering how to bring back their king to solve all the important issues. Finally, the chief minister, who was wise and clever, had an idea. Next day, a scurvy, crazy-looking man turned up at court.
It was chief minister who disguised as a crazy and dirty urchin-like man.
Up at the court, his hair was in a mess. His clothes were half torn and stuck on his feet. He wore torn shoes from which he stuck out. He marched up to the palace and demanded to be given an audience with the king.
Or given an audience with the king. The guards signed and let him in. They were used to having all kinds of characters turning up at the gates wanting to tell the stories to the king. The old man was admitted to king's chamber. He made himself comfortable, drank a huge jug of water, and without introducing himself started his story. This story begins in a humble farmer's field. The farmer had toiled days and weeks and months and grown a bumper crop of sugar cane. He sold the sugar cane to the nearby sugar factory, and they made sacks and sacks of sugar out of it. Everyone was so happy. All this sugar would be sold in the markets and make everyone very rich. That year their children would get nice new clothes. Their stores would be full of food and their wives would be very happy with them. Now all that sugar had to be stored and kept carefully till the sacks could be taken to the market to sell. The factory people poured the sugar into many sacks and lugged them into the storeroom. In the storeroom, who would you find?
Who
but a
would you find?
Colony of ants. They had decided that building their house near such a ready supply of their favorite food was a very good idea, and were always on the lookout for new batches of sugar to be stored there. No sooner had the sacks been kept than the lines of ants marched up to them. They found little holes to make their way in the first and went into the first bag of sugar, took one sugar crystal and went back. The next ant went into the bag and took a crystal and returned home. Another went into the bag and took a crystal and returned home. Yet another went into the bag and took a crystal and returned home. So on and on the storyteller droned. King Pratap found he was nearly dozed off. The day had passed by and he was still listening to the same story. Stop! Stop! He ordered. I will listen to the rest of the story tomorrow. The next morning, the old man turned up as usual and started from where he had left off the previous day. Yesterday I was telling you how the ants came and picked up the sugar crystals. Now the next ant went towards a big big bag of sugar and took a crystal and went back home. Another went and took a sugar crystal and returned home. Another ant. The story went on and on like this. Lunch and dinner time passed by, but nothing new happened. But by now King Pratap was bursting with rage. How dare anyone tell him such a boring story? What kind of story is this? He complained. What will happen next? What happened to the farmer? But the old man only smiled and said, Have patience, Your Majesty. That year the yield was very good and there were thousands of bags of sugar. I have to tell you how the ants collected all the sugar. Oh, stop, stop! Pratap shouted. Stop this boring story at once. The man now stood up and said in firm voice, Fine, if you are ordering me to stop, I have won the prize. Give me half your kingdom. Give me. The king was in dilemma now. He had announced a competition and prize, no doubt, but could he honestly give away half the kingdom to the crazy-looking storyteller with his boring tales? As he sat pondering, the man grinned even wider and took off his dirty robe, rubbed off the dirt from his face and shook back his shaggy white hair. Everyone was astonished. Why this was the chief minister himself. Don't worry, Your Majesty, the minister told his overjoyed king. I did not want half your kingdom. I only wanted to show you how you were wrong to neglect your work and listen to the stories night and day. Your people deserve a good king, not a bad king like you. Someone who will work hard to look after them, someone who will think of his own happiness only once his people are happy. That's what good kings do. You know, now just not just giving orders and enjoying yourself like selfish king like you. Poor Pratap looked ashamed at this. Yes, he had been extremely selfish king. From now on, story time was only at night after all his work was done.
So that was how the summer holidays ended. Everyone packed their bags and reached the station. Their mothers had come to take them back home. Ajja, Ajji, Vishnu Kaka, Damu, Rahmat Chacha, everyone had come to see them off. No one left like leaving. Ajji sighed.
No one felt like leaving Ajji's side.
Neenu kept hugging her till she had to board her the train. Soon the train popped out of station. The children landed out to wave their goodbyes slowly. Shingao got left behind, but the children would continue to remember Ajji and everyone else and all the stories which would remain with them forever, and they would be back during next summer holidays when they would hear so many more. So in this book we have told you the story about the beginning of the stories. Doctor, Kaveri and the thief. Who was the happiest of them all? The enchanted Scorpios, horse trap, a treasure for Ramu, the donkey and the stick, what's in it for me, the princess's new clothes, the story of Pan, poison for beard, fire on the beard, the way you look at it, Rupa's great escape, 5 spoons of salt, how season got their share, the island of statues, the kingdom of fools, the story of silk, when Yama called, and the last story, the unending story.
So friends, this story was last story
Of this book, Sudhamurti book.
So friends,
Grandma's bag of stories.
friends, write in comments. Name the king who had boy in his heart and who was 15 years old and who loved giving orders and listening to stories. Write in comments. So what is the meaning of unending?
The meaning of unending is seeming to last forever. Means
What is the synonym of unending?
synonym.
Yes. The synonym of unending is endless.
Yes. What is so the example of unending is the boy will eat unending ice cream he wants to. What is the meaning of selfish?
The meaning of selfish is caring only about yourself rather than about other people. So the opposite of selfish is selfless or unselfish. And the sentence of selfish is being selfish is not good. And other is the selfish witch. So friends, subscribe to our channel,
Hit the notification bell.
and press the like button. Bye.